Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us this wonderful Wednesday morning, 9 a.m., live with the Chatter Girls movement. I'm joined here with my co-host, Alicia Marcos Birong. She is the CEO and founder of Chatter Girls and Chatter Girls the Movement. My name is Hannah Olivas, and I am the CEO and co-founder of She Rises Studios. And we bring these, what I like to call mini episodes, because we try to stay within that 15-minute, time frame, to talk to you about different topics that we as women, young women, and even little girls face on a day-to-day basis. And if you didn't catch this morning's earlier live with Michelle Emick, I highly encourage you to watch the replay. It was a phenomenal episode. So now we're going to do another phenomenal episode with another amazing woman who just has spent her entire adult life pouring in to our little girls, our young women, and women like myself who are looking forward to being a contributing positive factor to our future. So today we're going to talk to you about, are you actually following your own journey? Are you walking and standing in your own shoes, or are you trying to follow in someone else's journey? So I'm going to turn the time over to Alicia, and let's dive in today. Welcome.
Thank you. Well, I think that for me, I did for many years, especially as a young girl and as a young woman, had no idea what my journey could be. So I tried everybody else's journey for a while. And, parents, teachers, everybody, all the influencers of us when we're younger, I was trying out all their journeys. And it took me a long time to figure out that's not my journey. That's their journey. And I need to make my own. Thank goodness I found it, And, but I do think that young girls do that a lot, even as little as, oh, I like such and such's hair, so I need to go get my hair cut, look exactly like her, or I need to have these clothes, in this world of all the big labels and everything, that's it. The girls are going, well, such and such has that, so I need to look like that. I find that I just returned from Texas with my family and spent some time with my granddaughter. And I do see that she does that a little bit because she's working on her own self-confidence, and she sees somebody else have something that she wants in personality or whatever. And so they try it on. And don't we do that in every part of our life? We try things on. We try clothes on, la, 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 la. We try a hairstyle. Those girls are trying, but the reality is that as they move forward, they don't have to own that. That's one of the things we do with Chatter Girls is very much getting them to have their own voice, to be able to say, I have something to say and it's valuable. And this is who I am. I see a lot of girls not get there until college. I see our Chatter Girls get there in middle school. And if that's when your self-confidence is being developed and you're working on your journey. But when we talk about journey, we don't talk necessarily, and I think that this is the part that parents come in, is we're not necessarily talking career. We're talking personality, ownership of who you are inside and then outside. But that's why we try it on outside first to see if it works. And then, our inside tells us, okay, that doesn't work, try something else. But I do think that there is an impact in parents and other adult leaders. And I think that that's why we do Chatter Girls. Why, Hannah, this one, you're a grandmother and you're a mother. And all those times that you're influencing those kids, you also know that there are other people in the mix that they look at and they're influenced by. And
Yep.
they're saying, I like this from this person, and I like this from another person, on that journey.
Very true. My youngest is 9. Most know she's my bonus baby. And we are literally, I'm learning to understand a 9-year-old mind, from how she wants to dress to how she wants to talk, what her stand is in the world at this moment. And it is very true that she sometimes looks to others and wants to be just like them instead of being Sophia. And so my place as her mama is to say, hey, it's okay to stand in your own 2 shoes. It's okay to be different. It's okay. You do not have to be like the next person or so and so or so and so. Who you are is who you are meant to be. Embrace those gifts. And sometimes she says, well, what does that mean? And so, of course, I have to backtrack and say, okay, yeah, I'm talking to my 9-year-old, not my 29-year-old.
Yeah.
But all in all, you're right. We are the examples to our children and grandchildren. And that's why we've been, focusing on the journey, on what it means to embrace your own beauty, on what it means to step in your own shoes and not someone else's. It's so important because our world is changing, society is changing. They've given us these boxes that we're supposed to fit in, that, truth be told, do any of us fit in a box? We don't. We're all different. So let's love who we are as an individual. Let's step into who we are as an individual. But more importantly, right now, if you are a mentor, if you are a mother, if you are a father, whatever your role is to another young person, another young individual, your role is to teach them and educate them to be their own person and to walk their own journey. And that's why I love what you do. That's why I love Chatter Girls. That's why I love the movement, which I really want you to talk about today, because you have created an incredible movement that is just going to take young women and little girls to a whole nother level. But not only that, you're teaching parents how to take those young women, those little girls, to a whole nother level. This is a program that I am 100% supporter of. This is a program that every mama and daughter need. And so I want you to share with us a little bit about what Chatter Girls movement is to you. What does it mean? What do we have to look forward to? And tell us about your journey on how this
Okay.
can be.
Yay. And so I just noticed my cup, and I don't know if y'all can see it, but it says, believe in yourself. And I didn't know I picked that one today. I have a whole bunch of them, and sometimes God just puts that one in my hand for the day. And it's the reality of, I did not believe in myself. I knew that there was a challenges. I didn't know how to do it. And I didn't have women in my life. I didn't have, I had a very dysfunctional family. I didn't have a mother, but there were people who came into my life who offered some support. They taught me how to be a mom. They tried to help me be able to find myself. But the Chatter Girl movement started because I was working with girls and with women. And what happened for me was, at the end of the day, one day, I saw a situation, and I was like, okay, what's going on here? The woman and the 10-year-old girl were telling me the same stories when it came to their self-esteem. So here's this woman, 40 years old, can't move forward in the business world because she has no self-esteem, no confidence in herself. Here's this 10-year-old girl at school having no confidence, having different issues, same story. It's time to change the situation. I did a lot of research. I looked at what was happening in the world, and I said, okay, let's make some changes. I had a granddaughter coming up, and so I was like, if I can make this change in the world, then it will reflect her and all her friends, and this will be for her. So I worked with it. I worked some with my daughter on it, because there she is sitting with a daughter. And so we looked at the main issues in the main situation. We wanted to empower young girls, and that's what we're doing. We allow them to look at themselves in the mirror. We work with them to remove their mask. We've helped them, what I call chatter, change it. Take that negative chatter that everybody puts in your mind and what you put in your mind, and find another place for it, not in your mind. We find the opportunity for giving girls a voice, to be able to stand up and say, no, I'm not that person that you're telling me that I am. That's not who I am. No, you can't bully me.
I love that. No bullying. Nobody needs to bully another individual.
No.
It's so unnecessary, because there's room for every single one of us to be on the same stage, on the same platform, like in Mean Girls.
Yeah.
And they call them Mean Girls, the movie. And I always joke about this with Sophia. These girls tell one of their friends, who they claim to be their friend, you can't sit with us, because she wanted to wear pink sweats on a different day of the week. That's real life stuff, people,
Yeah.
that other people put expectations, other people, we're not allowed to be ourselves, because it's not looked upon. And so when you're talking about changing that narrative, especially in these young women, these little girls who turn into young women, who turn into young adult women, who turn into, when we're hitting our 40s, 50s, and plus, if we have not changed that chatter continues. And then what?
Yeah. And then what? Then what happens? Those women have no self-confidence. They're changing, they're not changing. They're still holding on to that young little girl. One of the things I want to say about bullying, and I talked about this with the girls. If someone bullies you, you need to understand that that person most likely is also hurting. They're hurting inside. And parents, this is when I need for you to listen. Reality is what you say, your child hears, and they keep coming out. So if you're a parent and you unintentionally say something about another mom or something like that, about the way they're dressed, you then allow your child to be the person who's doing that. And I think that that's a hard reality for parents, but that is the reality.
Yeah, it's what we're teaching them in our homes before they go to school. It's what we're teaching in our homes. It's true what they say, leading by example. So if you are reflecting negativity, gossip, bullying, and your child is literally watching you, they are sponges and they soak up everything. So if you're a negative person, if you're a person who finds comfort in bullying other people, you're teaching your son or daughter at a very young age to be the same. And that is why society is so different. That is why our children are committing suicide. That is why the celebrities are committing suicide every single day, someone, because they can't take the bullying, because they don't feel worthy, they don't feel loved, they don't feel that they can speak out. And that has to change. That has to change right now, today. And I think what you're doing is helping to change that narrative, to teach these little girls how to be themselves, like you said, to get rid of that negative chatter, because we all have it. We wake up daily with negative chatter. You turn on the TV and what's the first thing you see? It was for 2 years, it was the pandemic. For the last 2 months or however long it's been, now it's about war. It's about our economy. It's always it's negativity just being pushed at us from all directions. And that's always going to continue because that's just the way of the world. But it's what we decide to do with it, what we take in and hold on to. And I say, let's stand up and teach our little girls to knock out that chatter and have that positive mindset, that positive self-talk. I talk to myself all the time. And I tell myself, I'm worthy, I'm beautiful, I'm healed, I'm vitality, I'm strong. And I know the people in my home, when they hear me doing it, because I say it out loud, they're probably like, oh my gosh, there she goes again. But you know what? It works. It works.
Yeah,
It
does.
works.
It absolutely does. And that's, teaching the girls the tools now gives them that strength to be able to do that and to be able to have it work. Just imagine, I can imagine my life as a child, and I imagine you, Hannah, without those things and those thoughts. You went through a lot of stuff, and we do, and we don't want that for our children. And as I said it before, is this generation is different. They've dealt with major crises, and so they don't know what to do with it. One of the things is that if you're going to allow your children to watch the news, then you better be sitting there to explain it. Otherwise, don't watch it with them, because they interpret this guy and then this guy says this, and they don't know how to process it. So that's when they take on what you said, and you might have called somebody on the TV or whatever. Well, they assume that that's okay. And so then they're going to keep that. It just is a matter of, you have to understand. And I think one of the our doctor who talks about the brain, it's a situation of their brains are not ready to process that heavy information. So we need to be cautious about how we share it, because the final part of Chatter Girls is celebrating 100% me. So here I am at 10, then I'm 12, then I'm 14. And each time I'm celebrating myself, I'm growing, and I can process it, and my brain's process it, but I've taught my brain tools to be able to make it. And myself for sure, didn't have those tools, but now we do, and we can use them. So thank you. I love Chatter Girls. I love what I've been able to do, and I look forward to just spreading it across the country.
And you've been traveling since you and I have met. You have traveled across the country, sharing your journey, encouraging other women, other little girls to do the same thing. You're giving a voice to those who don't know how to use theirs yet. And I feel anyone who takes your program, and we've put Sophia through some of it, and we're really excited to do the one here in Las Vegas this year. And I will be able to, I'm honored to be able to be a part of that, mommy. I say mommy and me because, it's something that I could do with her. It's something to give her love, reinforcement, and to clear out the chatter, because some of the chatter, and this is, we'll dig deep for 40 seconds. Some of the chatter that is in our minds as little girl is from trauma, from something that we were exposed to that we shouldn't have been. And it causes a ripple effect. And if you don't deal with that traumatic experience or that trauma that you've been exposed to, it becomes negative chatter, and it becomes uncomfortable. And we start to believe that we deserve those things that happen to us. And because we're so little, we don't know that it's not our fault. And so it's time now, with your movement, with Dr. Sarah's movement, with She Rises movement, to come together and change the narrative of how we talk to ourselves, how we treat ourselves, how we deal with those traumatic issues, how we lift one another up together, how we walk side by side. And I know we're not going to ever all sing Kumbaya together, but I believe that there's enough of us in this world, enough of us with the heart and the passion to help these young children, boys and girls, develop and grow from that negative trauma, that negative chatter, into amazing human beings. And that's why we align with you. That's why we align with Dr. Sarah. That's why we have such an incredible network of women who are on the same page. It's beauty. It's and we're all on this journey together, but in different aspects.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is all about. It's the whole reason why we created She Rises Studios. It's the whole reason you created Chatter
Yeah.
Girls. So I'm saying right now, be the change that your son or daughter needs to see, and be the change that you need to see and feel for yourself. Walk in your journey, walk in your shoes, and embrace everything. Process it. Don't relive it, but process it and heal and utilize Alicia, utilize Dr. Sarah, utilize She Rises, or anyone that you find comfort that you feel you can reach out to. Utilize that tribe, that network, so that you can grow and cut the chatter, the negative chatter. That's what I felt compelled to say. I don't know, but
It very much is. And the other part of it is that if you are compelled and you want to be the person who does a Chatter Girls, and you have, you want to be the leader, we're looking for you to come and do this and help us spread it. And so that's
yes.
why we're doing that. We're saying is this what you might want to do, is work with those little girls? I'm looking for you. And we're spreading. So yes, so much. You are it. We love you, and we love those girls and boys, and we do work very hard to make a difference.
Well, we love and adore you. And please today, after we're finished with this, please put your links in the live comments. And for those of you who have not met her, who have not talked to her, I highly encourage you to reach out to her. We will be here every Wednesday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, to touch on all kinds of different topics, relatable, real, true, vulnerable topics that a lot of people are uncomfortable with. And that's what this Chatter Girl movement is about. It's about digging deep. It's about healing. It's about controlling the narrative, walking in your shoes, walking in your power. That's why we come to you and do these. We want to pour into you. I know Alicia does. I believe in her program 100% wholeheartedly. And you just keep going, Alicia. Keep going, because what you're doing is incredible. So thank you for joining us today. We went a little over our time, but it was well needed. Join us again next week, same time, same place, 9 a.m. right here. And it's always great to see you. I'm glad you had a safe trip back.
I
And
did. I did.
happy Wednesday.
Yeah, happy Wednesday, everyone. One other thing I want to close on just is that I did put my thing with guided choices, but next week we are doing a Zoom meeting for anyone who's interested in getting Chatter Girls in their area. So go to our webpage and you'll see the info on that. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, everyone. Happy Wednesday.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.